With this, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Anjani Prasad, who's the Managing Director for Archroma India. Mr. Prasad started his career with Century Mills in textile production and developed a new process of aniline black dyeing for which he received 2 patents, that is way back in 1983-86. Following this, he worked with several companies including VTRA, Clariant, and NWC in various capacities. He's currently the managing director of Archroma India and is also running the global projects of Inkjet. He has published more than 100 articles and presented more than 100 papers in major seminars and conferences in India and globally as well. He has traveled extensively to various textile markets. With this, I would like to welcome Mr. Anjani Prasad. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Can I get the sharing mode, please? Yeah, thank you. Just let me know once the screen comes up.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. So you'll have to expand only the presentation. I can see 2 slides right now.
Okay.
The button.
Maybe there is one button I'm not able to hear it. Let me see if I can stop. Now I can.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. This is fine.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would, the next 20 minutes take the audience around the safe, efficient, and enhanced way of operations. Huh? And I've been in the chemical industry, mainly the specialty chemical industry, long enough. And everywhere when we go, these are the elements which are very important, 3 pillars on which we have been able to do and communicate ourselves very well. We started with Sandoz. I mean, this journey has been quite long enough, and you can see a lot of major chemical companies named into this slide. Sandoz, then we became Clariant, and then we took over Herbst specialty part, which was again a major giant with a lot of ethoxylation production, big amount of fluorochemicals and polymer chemistry. And then we formed Archroma through SK Capital, and then continue our journey with some more acquisitions with Amdoman, which was mostly into the automotive area, where they had the best of what you call light fast dyes and chemicals. And then we acquired 2 companies of BASF. One was for the textile part and one was for the optical brightener, mainly for the detergent part, which goes to the home care. So we have within this, chart a lot of IPs and the companies inside Archroma. And we are a part of SK Capital Group, which is in Indian terms about 85,000 crores group with a lot of companies in. When you look at certifications and the importance of sustainability, we are very, very much committed, and there are many kinds of registrations unfortunately happening. Pharma is a bit more organized, but in leather, textiles, and other areas, it has to get organized with the certification. And that's one of the challenges going forward, that people put in a lot of money in going for different kinds of certifications. The vaccination, we know that we are into a COVID period is the only answer at the moment, maybe booster dosages and getting, more, safer. And I'm sure most of this chemical industry and therefore their, staff, they've done that. And this is the only way, and don't leave anyone unvaccinated and still continue to take care. Now, when you look at the whole industry, how it is evolving around the value chain, especially into the textile chemistry, from the base raw material to the brands in areas of textiles, leather, paper, and also in home care and personal care. Now, during this pandemic, what has happened is that packaging industry is really taken the front sheet on the food side, the medicine and the personal care, and also the medical products. Hygiene products are becoming more and more important, and preservatives and disinfectants, biocides, these are the chemistries which are really shaping up well adhesives for wood and the wood industry, because of the home working, people are trying to change furnitures. Also, car industry is moving well because everyone wants to have their own car to move around, not to go in public transportation. So this is changing the dynamics for the industry of chemicals, and we need to prepare ourselves. And I'm sure this conference will lead to a lot of things in the area of optimization, automation. There are 80,000 products for downstream industries, for automotive, textiles, pharmaceutical, personal care, construction, engineering. You name, these are the industries which are really, moving. Even in textiles, there are areas like home textile doing well, technical textiles doing well, but not the apparel too much. What is needed now is for success is really the feedstock availability. We import about 80% of the crude oil and the gas. The value chain access is important for us, and we need also the advanced technology. As compared to China, we are not there in terms of size and the volume. We play the niche game to an extent with smaller investments, and there is a need for digitalization, R&D, and R&D for also working towards cleaner processes and chemistries and working around automation, and also various other ways of producing the chemicals. Maybe micro reactors, for example, could be the future going forward. Now, the safety, health, and the environment becomes the important part in the chemical industry, and I feel that's the first thing we need to look at. And we move around with our vendors and also the suppliers, and we are very careful that we need to be clear that this is what we should not compromise on. And this requires, again, a lot of digitalization. I mean, you see that the online measurement of the wastewater goes in. So there is an automation there. In terms of safety, there are a lot of automation required and the kind of gadgets required and to control and to monitor. If you're unsafe, then you get into problems of various things. It could be the action is not proper, the behavior is not good, and the conditions are not good enough, and you get into a near miss situation, which is actually not good. And that's where we need to look at the severity of these things and record every element which goes into the plants, and the operations have to have the facilities and automation and the training required to deliver and to really make the observation and improve the area. There's a lot of pressure now in many industries like dyes and chemicals for wastewater pollutions, and the NGOs are behind, the Greenpeace organizations are behind these industries to improve. And there are cases of river and the surroundings getting polluted, and we have various areas of chemicals zone also in India. People are not able to move out of Gujarat and go to say eastern coast where government is giving facilities. So the mindset is also very critical to move and to produce. The other important part of what I said is safe, efficient, enhanced. Do we have a KPI? I mean, to monitor every element of this safety in terms of accident rate, in terms of MSDS, the way we check the MSDS, produce the MSDS, and how much of things goes into say REACH and also training around that. The environmental safety is also critical in terms of carbon emissions, in terms of the hazardous landfill and the solid waste which is coming out. And there also the testing methods and the digitalization to really test it properly. And there are new equipments and the new machineries are there which can really give you the right results. The efficiency is also to be measured in a way, and we are working around one-way tool which can really measure the energy, water, and all the other elements of efficiency in the plants to really check how far the savings can result. The enhancement is all around the value creation of the company. Either you work out under gender equality. I don't see in chemical industry too many women workforce there, and that's where I see in textiles maybe a bit more, but this is where we need to also look at to bring in talent. And if I go to a chemical, institute, you don't find too much of, ladies inside as students there. And this is where things have to be also changed, and the talent management becomes an important part of the chemical industry with huge IPs and development of the IPs and the patent laws behind. And CSR activities is mandatory for bigger companies and with the size, and 2% of the profit has to be spent, but it has to be spent in the right way to create value around. We have